All right, join us now on Inside TBT. Jack, Sam, and Tyler from Friday Beers. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Glad to be here.
Very lovely.
Ready to win this tournament.
Yeah, well, first of all, we talked about it a little bit before we started recording. This is exciting for us, not only because we're fans of you guys and the brand, but also because this is a little bit of a change of pace for us. You know, no offense, but you guys aren't going to be playing in the tournament. So it's a little bit of a nice change of pace. We're excited to have you guys on. The first question we ask all the new teams is, why TBT? How'd you find TBT? What are you guys doing talking to us right now? How'd we get here?
It's a good question. The real story is that TBT kind of found us in a little way. I mean, we always have been big. We're kind of hoop junkies, and that's like this a big part of the Friday Beers culture. So we're obviously aware of the tournament, and next to NBA basketball, it's the most exciting basketball action around. And we were fucking amped when we got an email from your guys' colleague, I guess, Jake Poborski, who's like, would you be interested in getting involved with the TBT? It is the way of fulfilling all of our unfulfilled hoop fantasies that we've never had access to be able to do. So we hopped on the opportunity real fast and said, whatever you guys need, we need to get involved with this tournament.
Yeah, the best way to describe how we look at basketball is whenever we're playing, we refer to ourselves as a bunch of guys who just wanted to play pro hoop and didn't make it, and none of us came even close to playing pro hoop. But now
more competitive D1.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, we have maybe 10 games of D3 mixed in between us, and that was the closest we got.
But we absolutely take the local pickup runs here seriously.
Very
and
seriously.
There's a big culture of pickup hoops and also in-office hoops. We have a little what was it called? Just like
we have like a 9-foot mini hoop in the office, but it's like a Nerf hoop, but it actually has like a breakaway rim, so guys are like dunking on it and dunking on each other. Actually, Friday we had
Tyler broke a guy's nose last Friday.
and it was on video, and there's like a full like NBA investigation. It's not a flagrant. It was actually not even an offensive foul. It was a defensive foul.
He was also our head of HR who he broke his nose. So it's like kind of a tough look for us all around.
Head of HR is a loose term. We don't really have HR.
I think we kind of got the sense of how this interview is going to go from the question that was asked to the answer we got.
Yeah.
So I got another question that I'm sure is going to be a fantastic answer. We're familiar with how Friday Beer started and, a little bit of your guys' journey. But for the people who maybe aren't familiar, could you take us through like creating the Instagram, the building of the brand? What was like the big oh shit, this is a real thing for you guys?
Real thing moment probably happened like 2 or 3 times, but the origin story is like we are just like average guys who, much like everybody who follows the account, enjoy hanging out with your buddies and drinking beers, especially on the weekends. And my brothers and I had this running joke of Friday Beers being like the best time of the week, because it's just this beacon of hope at the end of the dark tunnel that you go through from waking up depressed as fuck on Monday to getting through those 5 days in whatever way you know how. And our only personalities have been just like joking about what you and your friends like to do on the weekends. So one day our brother Max, is actually not on the call, he's a really good video editor, had an idea of like making this IG account where we just like put jokes about what you do hanging out with your friends in a video edited format. Couple posts in, people started tossing them and sharing them around their friend groups, and it was like within a couple of days we're like, we might be onto something here. Let's try to keep chipping away and see what happens.
Yeah, we started the account on it was like the beginning of a week, and I was working at a real estate office in Dallas, and I told my coworkers, I was like, we made this account, you guys got to follow it, like it's gonna blow up, and like jokingly, obviously. Then like 5 days later, it had like 30,000 followers, and I was like, maybe I will quit this job. kind of that realization.
Is that the second week that we started posting on the account? I was taking a train. We're from like tri-state area. From Connecticut originally, so like our parents live in Connecticut, but I was living in New York at the time, and I was on a train out from New York City to go to Connecticut, just a random Metro North train, and I was watching a video on the account with my buddy. I was like, dude, I can't believe this account's really growing. It's kind of crazy. And the girl in the row next to me, behind me, was like, "Are you guys talking about Friday beers?" Like my boyfriend just rejoined Instagram after deleting it just so he could share these videos around his friend. That was the moment I was like, "Oh, I think this could catch on, or it is catching on."
So let me ask a follow-up to that. What was the first moment where an individual or maybe a group or something reposted it and you were like, well, I'm going to have to turn off my phone now because the notifications are going to go bonkers?
We never had that, honestly. We never had like some really famous person on social media be like, "You guys should tune into Friday Beers. It's hilarious." Like, which is actually kind of remarkable, like that it grew so fast. The reason that, I kid you not, the reason why it grew is in the DMs and text threads of people. Like, it was just groups of friends sending it around to their groups of friends, and it just grew really virally because a lot of people related to it. So in a way, like, it's sort of like the people's account. Like, it only grew because so many people like were seeing their own lives inside of like what we were joking about. And you guys, like whoever watched Friday Beers, you guys grew Friday Beers for us. Like, there was no sort of like tactic to grow. Yeah, thank you.
Because we didn't start the account with the intention of like, oh, this is going to be a viral account that we work on full time. So that it caught all of us off guard.
It was crazy. You just started multiplying because guys like you were just sharing it around. The first, I think, early endorser we got was Quentin Nelson, the guard for the Colts. And he became like the big fella in Friday Beers lore. And he commented on the account. He reached out to us. We sent him like some of our earliest like merch that we literally like got made like bootlegged at this like t-shirt shop like down the street from where I live. And we hung out with him in New York. Like, he was a really big, I'll call the first biggest fan of metaphorically and literally.
Went on the podcast with our shirt.
Yeah, he went on a Barstool podcast with our shirt on. He went on Part of My Take and was like, Friday Beers is like more legit, and kind of like stood up for us. So that was cool.
They blurred out the shirt and everything in the interview.
Yeah.
That's funny. What's funny about what you guys are saying is it's similar to TBT. Like, they started as just like a tournament, and then all of a sudden now there's players who everyone knows. All of a sudden now it's on ESPN. All of a sudden it's $1 million pot, and the guy who made the game-winning shot, Keeper Sykes, last year signed an NBA deal that night. So like, it's pretty cool that you guys are now a part of it. I don't want to get too far away from it, so we got to ask you.
But good job, Andrew.
You guys are fired up. Who are some of the names on the roster that you're super excited about, representing Friday Beers? And then I'll ask you which guy on the roster is like the big guy of the team.
Yeah, he has a personal tie.
Well, I'm not one of these guys' brothers. Actually, I came in like a year ago. I have nothing to do with Friday Beers like becoming viral. I came in way after riding their coattails.
He's our friend though.
Kind of. But no, I went to UCF. I'm from Florida, so I'm a big Aubrey Dawkins guy, and I found out we got him on the team, which is big. I personally am invested in. I'm hoping for a huge redemption after the stealing of the Duke UCF game by Zion Williamson. What is that? 4 years ago or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
It's probably one of the hardest days of my life watching sports.
Yeah, and we like Jack mentioned, we're from Connecticut, and I actually used to go to the Iona basketball games with a buddy of mine who lived like next door to the school. So Sean Armand was like a guy I used to see play all the time. And so it's like, that's like the definition of the TBT tournament. It's like, you see guys like, wait, I remember that guy. Like, he was like nasty. And then I could look him up and he's like still hooping in Europe and like doing his thing. I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's my point guard now. Like, let's go.
I can give a quick blurb of a scouting report from our GM on that characterized our roster that got me extremely fired up. I'll read it.
Let's hear it.
I think I have two really good ones. The first one that got me jacked up last week. We're insanely versatile, insanely, all caps, and they're all grown men. Teams could really struggle to score on us, which is the way we'll be able to switch everything on defense.
So we have a bunch of athletes that can also just flat out defend.
Yeah,
I'm fired up.
We're gonna be a problem. People try.
We also got a couple like former like NBA guys like Jarrell Brantley, and I know Eric Griffin played a little bit in the league too. So it's like we have. I mean, it was so funny when we first had the TBT reach out to us. Like Tyler's like pretty good at basketball. He's like, I would love to play. Like, let's see what we can do. And I was like, you guys don't really get it.
Well, no, I know. I got
Let me go lace up the shoes.
I got that I'm not gonna play. No, one thing that AJ said that I actually didn't think of was because we were suggesting like guys that were like well known in college and performed really well even in D1, and then he would be like, it's important that these guys have played professional basketball somewhere because just in general, like they're gonna get eaten alive if they've only ever played college basketball in the TBT. That was something that I never really thought of because you think like D1 highest level, but like pro basketball is just a different animal in general.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting part of how we got in touch with TBT. We thought that we might be able to put the squad together on our own when they approached us, and just like Friday Beers will just sort of recruit. And we know enough, like we have enough relationships with like college players or like sort of like fringe, maybe like NBA guys or whatever. They're like, yeah, how hard could it be to like try to put together the squad? And we were quickly advised and learned that in order to field a competitive team, you need to be super dialed and buttoned up. And we were way over our depth to even consider do something like that.
Our coaches have been reviewing like 600
Oh my
players.
God. So we went from potentially fielding the worst team in TBT history to like getting a really competitive squad by taking good advice and betting ourselves with guys who know what they're doing. So we're pretty pumped about that.
Will you guys be at the games?
Yeah, our plan is to go. We're in the first round in Syracuse, and I think July 22nd or 23rd is our first game. The mission is to just sort of rally the Friday Beers troops and the Friday Beers army, especially in Syracuse. We play on a Friday. We're lobbying to get like a 5 p.m. game and just have like a huge open bar pregame situation at a bar in Syracuse. And then storm the where do they play? Carrierdale?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's where the games would be played, but
yeah,
that's a pretty big arena to fill out.
I don't know.
2,000 people.
My guess is it's not at the Carrierdale.
It would be a better environment at a smaller gym.
Yeah,
I think.
All right, we're gonna storm the gym, but yeah, we plan to go. We plan to like
we're gonna burn Syracuse to the ground,
host a good party, and bring a bunch of fired up Friday Beers fans into the arena.
I think what I'm most excited about for this team, beyond the players, obviously, is the merch that you guys will produce from it. My question to you guys is, I have a favorite one, being from Chicago. Any Michael Jordan, anything that you guys do, it automatically goes to the top of my list. Do you guys have a favorite shirt or a favorite hat or a favorite anything that you guys have done?
Oh, in general, Friday Beers merch?
Yeah.
That's a good question. There's one, it's kind of funny. Everyone in our office like wears Friday Beers merch a lot, and they tend to like wear the same stuff. So like in a given day, there'd be like 4 or 5 guys like wearing the same crew neck or same hat, which is just like kind of hilarious. My favorite thing that we just made is this like save water, drink beers shirt that is like kind of vintagey and is catching a little bit of fire. And then we also have a great tee that's not even Friday Beers related. It just shows how we stand for supporting your boys. That's a shirt that just says "Hug your bros."
I just bought that last week before I even knew you guys were. Which is pretty fun. I was just telling Andrew that.
It's a great shirt because of what it represents. If anything, Friday Beers stands for making sure your boys are all right and making sure they know that you love them. So
and commiserating together.
Yeah. So I think that one is sort of leading the pack right now.
If you're a Chicago guy, actually my favorite one that I have is the security guard from Last Dance with the Jordan shrug. I've got that. I've got almost Friday of that.
That's a good one. That's a kind of a vintage too.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
You need a Hug Your Bro shirt. Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, my question, I was going to say, can I get a free shirt? But then my next question was going to be, do you have people all the time that are like, yo, let me get a free shirt. Like, let me get some gear.
Well, the Hug Your Bro one just goes straight to male mental health awareness. So it's kind of messed up to ask for a free one.
Yeah, you
but
should support that.
Way to go.
but any other one, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we'll give you 5% off shipping. It's not included.
We need a promo code. We get like a promo code inside TBT, and we'll sell some.
We can make that.
We can definitely
promo code inside TBT. We'll get it going after this call.
All right, love
2% off.
maybe just TBT, maybe a little simpler.
Yeah, we'll do a TBT 20, and we'll actually make it 20% off. That's fine.
Oh, there we go.
Love it. Great. Well, fellas, my last question for you guys, and before Andrew will wrap it up, but my last question for you guys is: you only follow one person on Instagram. I would just love to hear who that is and why.
I kind of wish this was like our other brother was here because it's more of his deal. But so we follow Haley Steinfeld. We originally followed Dua Lipa as our only person we followed, and we were blocked by Dua Lipa. So we had to switch over to Haley. I don't really know.
We were looking, we admire multi-talented female superstars, and Dua Lipa was certainly checking a lot of boxes for us in the early days. It did not end well because we got a little bit of beef with her at the time boyfriend, Anwar Hadid, and she blocked us. We may be getting unblocked. We have some stuff in the works. We don't know. But in the meantime, we moved on to even more multi-talented female superstar, Haley Steinfeld. She's awesome. Shout out her brother, Griffin Steinfeld, total beast as well.
Yeah.
And Sherry and Pete Steinfeld, the parents, amazing people. And they are, friends of the Friday Beers family. We try to lift Haley up in whatever she does. We're considering maybe diversifying who we follow on Instagram a little bit and assembling like a starting lineup of just like guys and gals that we are just totally dialed in on and like who deserve for the Friday Beers, who kind of represent the Friday Beers way of life. And that's something we may release this summer, but we're still developing the idea here.
Tyler, is Aubrey Dawkins gonna get the follow?
Hey, it's not up to me, but I would for sure.
It really depends about his performance in Syracuse.
Really?
So we'll see how
Game one.
Is Joey Brunk gonna get the follow? That's all I care about.
Joey Brunk.
Yeah.
Joey Brunk is a good friend of the Friday Beers family.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I don't think he would even want to follow. He likes to be a little under the radar. I think if he was to get one person's follow, it would be Matthew McConaughey. That's his guy.
Yeah. God, I love Joey.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We were trying to get him on the roster, but our GMs were a little too.
We don't have
any control.
We don't have much
It gets
input on
on
personnel.
yeah.
We do marketing, but not a lot of input on personnel. We leave that to the pros.
Brutal.
All right. Well, before we get you guys out of here, and this has been great, we wrap up you guys are such big fans of our show, so I'm sure you know how we wrap it up. We'll give a little reminder. So we wrap up our show by, kind of flipping the tables on you, seeing if you guys have any questions for us. It's actually sponsored by Brain Fuel. Great energy drink. If you guys are tired, grab some Brain Fuel. But flip it on you. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. So you guys are inside TBT. Who's the Barkley of your show?
It's a good question.
Which one's the Barkley?
It's tough because really it's just Andrew is Ernie and
You're
then,
everybody else.
No, I mean, Andrew, it's fair to say you're Ernie because you kind of just reel everything in. But like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm everybody else because that's not true.
I think we're Ernie and Kenny. Probably would be
the two most level-headed. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Ernie and Kenny would be the two closest. But I like to bring out my inner Barkley sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one piece of advice is, you need that like wild card that's going to throw it off the rails.
Are you guys going to be doing live podcasts from the tournament locations at all?
So we will be, but we do not have plans to be in Syracuse. However, if you guys advance to Dayton, we will. We will be in Dayton with you.
We'll see you in Dayton.
We're in the same bracket as Overseas Elite in Syracuse, which I hear is the perennial favorite in the tournament.
Won a few
So
times, except for when Ohio State beat them. But,
yeah, you got to beat the best to be the best. We plan to knock off Overseas early and make a statement.
We'll see if they're in. They always wait till the last minute to say, "Hey."
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
That'd be even better.
So do you get the registration deadline ends pretty soon, right? I don't know when the show's airing, but based on your guys' knowledge of the current teams in and then the rosters, just give us the odds-on like what are your guys' odds-on favorites? Who do you like?
That is such a good question. We never get asked that. Never ever.
What do you think? You guys are inside TBT, so tell us.
So before this interview, I would have said, Sideline Cancer, they're putting together a good team. Buffalo, who's going to be in Syracuse, they got a good team. Blue Collar U, Xavier, they're hosting in Cincinnati. They got a real good team. But now post-interview. So my real answer was those first three. But now post-interview, I'm going with Friday Beers TBT.
You got confidence in our squad. I mean,
and I won't say that. I'm silent.
it's tough to convince people to not support sideline cancer and support instead. Yeah,
we have that against us.
Can't really like bag on those guys for what they're doing, unfortunately.
You guys got the hug a bro.
Yeah,
we support men's and women's, but we support mental health awareness. Maybe we'll figure out a way to tie that into this run that we're planning to make. Yeah, I mean, Buffalo and our region could be an issue because they got the upstate New York kind of ties.
And Syracuse being in that might hurt too.
So Syracuse is in our region. That was who I fucked up. Maybe
I don't think it's overseas league. I think it's like the
Boeheim's Army. I'm not really worried about Boeheim's Army. I think we knocked those guys out pretty easily.
Yeah, Syracuse basketball in general is kind of on the downswing, so I'm just not really that worried.
Yeah, we're confident. We're gonna have a rowdy supporter group. We're also going to be absolutely firing up. We're based in Los Angeles, so we're gonna be doing like live streams of watching the games. We're gonna be betting heavily on our own team, which is great. What, you can do that?
Of course, I love it.
Yeah, we said we love it.
You guys sign up with BetMGM. You gotta go bet on us on BetMGM, and we're gonna make your money back guaranteed. But yeah, we're gonna be all of our office and all of the guys who like make content for us, really funny sketches are gonna be absolutely pounding pavement and waving the banner for us. And by the way, if you support us, we will make you return on your investment to all the TBT fans out there.
All right.
We love that. Anything else for us? Anything else before we let you go?
Who's the best player in the TBT right now? Best individual player.
There's the best player that's supposed to play, as of right now, but then there's who's actually going to show up for the games.
What you said, who's like best on paper, who's supposed to play right now?
I'd say Amari Spellman, James Ennis, probably two best names on paper.
Those guys would be a matchup nightmare for us if we played.
Probably Spellman number one.
Why are they matchup nightmares for us? You see our physicality and our length.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I'm talking about us.
I'm talking about us.
We also,
yeah.
We also might put one of our team as the 12th man on the bench for like live content, like just like have him like stream the games from the bench. Yeah, we're considering. Actually, we have a guy who works for us, Lawrence Johnson, he played at Albany, right?
Yeah, he did play at Albany.
Oh, yeah, so he's like a very solid hooper. We were thinking about putting him on the bench, or we might go totally opposite direction and put Rusty Featherstone from Rusty Ranks Beers on the end of the bench. Have him like quietly nursing like a Bud Light the entire game. Or not. Yeah, quietly drinking beers at the end of the bench, but he may be a distraction. I don't know. We haven't figured it out yet.
Well, I am interested to see the Rusty Ranks Beers and the players on the team's interactions.
that would be
stuff. So
that would look hilarious in the huddle and also like in layup lines and stuff. Would be really good content.
All
right, I love it. We're sold. We're in. We're cheering for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
all right,
maybe
guys.
Almost Friday inside TBT shirt wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
We have some merch coming out. Our like TBT team merch is like pretty clean and simple. We made a new logo, Friday Beers basketball logo, but we can get an inside TBT times Friday Beers custom thing for our page going too.
Yeah, I love it.
It wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, talk to your team. We're open to it.
All right.
This is our team right here.
We're
in. All right, guys.
Well, this has been a blast. We'll talk to you guys when it comes sooner to game time.
All right. Thanks, boys.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.
Clocking out early, that's the shit I don't like. Been getting paid since I was riding on the bike. Hit the pedal with the 8th, hopping on the 9th flight. I've been chilling out of sight. I'll be at the bar tonight. Told the bartender, go and take my card to swipe. You try the same thing, but your card get declined. White rappers nowadays, no, we're not too hard to find. I'm so dapper with my ways, I'm gonna linger in your mind. Always told me good things will come to those who are patient, but I've been way too patient, writing bars in my basement. I'm anxious in the real world, it's time for me to say this. The basics, the talent in my mind, I can't waste it. My life is too safe, it's my time for risk taking. I'm baking my mind every day, it's the same ish. Lazy, my grind needs to get a new face. busting through the pavement. Rock with it and lean with it. My team win it, my team win it. Now rock with it and lean with it. My team turn up when I spit it. Now rock with it and lean with it. My team win it, my team win it. Now rock with it and lean with it. My team turn up when I spit it. Don't think that I'm playing because I'm saving the game, and I said that I will be more because oh yeah, that is so raving, racing and pacing around all these lanes in my lane, out my way unless you're trying to pay me. Not from the playpen, it's coming from the jungle. When you hear the bell, you better be ready to rumble because I'ma grab the gloves and I'm gonna flex my muscles. Go ahead and spit some bars, but you're probably just gonna mumble. A lot of rappers these days really need to get them humble cause they think they at the top, they better stop before they stumble. Cause I'm swiping all their biddies while they swiping right on Bumble. And your girlie calls me daddy, but she only calls you uncle.